Hello, everyone. Heidi ho for your Wednesday afternoon. I hope everybody is having a wonderful Wednesday and that as you've come through half of your week, you're doing really well. You're really happy. Things are going well and all that good stuff. And I'm happy that you're doing well. I'm doing quite well myself. Just sort of been in the house, kind of doing a, vacation after my vacation sort of thing. Vacation after my vacation sort of thing. Because, well, that's what I do. Um, uh, After vacations, I'm usually so tired. That's what I do. So I've been doing that for the last couple of days. Probably going to be doing that for a few more days. The sun's been out around here, which everybody's thrilled to death about and stuff because we haven't had sun in a long, long, long time and stuff, and especially warm weather where we're getting into the 70s and a couple of days in the high 70s and 80s, which is like woo hoo hoo around here, and we've been loving it. But today, I want to talk about something I wanted to talk about after coming back from Portland and stuff. And, while we were in Portland, my husband and I went to a bunch of brew pubs. Oregon is a really big place for microbrewing and craft beers and stuff. Huge, huge, huge. It's one of the biggest states with the most craft breweries in the United States. It's got quite a few and stuff. I think it's in the top five at least, and maybe the top three and stuff. And it's got some really good beer and really great craft breweries. And I love beer. It's a thing that I really adore. Now I don't drink every day, and actually I don't drink periodically during the month and stuff. Every once in a while, my husband and I like to go out to the local brewery here by our house and have a couple of beers and stuff, and maybe eat some food because I love pub food. Maybe eat some food, but that's not something I do on a regular basis and stuff. But when I'm out of town on vacation, I love to try to find a local microbrewery that's there and go and test and taste their beer. Now, while I was there this weekend and going from brewery to brewery, place to place, Bridgeport, Double Mountain, McMenamins, and stuff, and other small bars, and getting, really just some really awesome beer while I was there. The one thing I noticed, and I'm going to say this because I have a lot of black women asking me, and I see a lot of black women asking when they talk about interracial dating, where do I meet white men or non-black men and stuff? And my thought is always you meet them where you meet everybody else, and stuff. At school, at work, at the park, at your gym, and stuff. I mean, they're everywhere. It's not some special place that people are gathering, just to meet you. Art shows, all sorts of stuff. Whatever you're interested in, you can meet somebody there, but you need to have a wide variety of interests. That's always been my thing. But the one place I can tell you that you probably could meet white men and non-black men that I don't think many black women know about or even think about is at brewfest. I don't think many black women even think about brewfest or brew places. The thing I see encouraged always on different blogs catering to black women is something about wine. And personally, I'm not a wine drinker. I don't particularly like wine. Personally, I find that it's not that. And although Washington is a big wine state, I'm not a big wine drinker. I am a big champagne drinker, but I'm not a big wine drinker and stuff. And I've never really liked wine and stuff. I'll drink a white every once in a while. I don't like red at all. And just on personal opinion, everybody I know that drinks red wine is a damn alcoholic, or close and stuff. I mean, they can drink a lot, and that stuff makes you drunk really fast and stuff. And that's one of the reasons I don't like wine, because it makes me really immediately 2 glasses and I'm out, and stuff. And so I've never really liked wine and stuff. But I find the wine thing sort of ridiculous, because if every woman you know, or black woman you know, and a bunch of other women you know, are trying to go to some wine tasting and meet a couple of guys, you know, and the couple in there that might be straight, okay, you're in for a really bad sort of time. You know, there's you and a bunch of other people there, and you got a bunch of other folks you got to kind of contend with and stuff, you know. But I'm going to tell you something about going to Brewfest and being a black woman. And I might just be, you know, killing some for some people, but hey, I'm giving some secrets out. You will probably be the only black woman there. Every brewery, every place we went in Portland this last week, here in Seattle, every Brewfest I've ever been to, and I've been going to Brewfest since I got to Seattle in 1992, as soon as I figured out there was something beyond drinking Budweiser, okay, and stuff. And I've been going to Brewfest and brew pubs since then, and just loving it. Every place I've ever been, I am usually the only black woman. And I was at this weekend, my mom and a friend of mine went up to Bellingham, and that's about 2 hours away from here, right at the border of Canada and Washington and stuff. And we went up to Bellingham, and it's a small town, small college town, and I've talked about it before. But we went up to Bellingham, and we stopped at Boundary Bay Brewery to have a little lunch and sit and have a couple of beers. Of course, we're the only 3 black women in the whole place, okay, you know, and stuff. And I was talking to her about this because she also is a person that likes beer, just like I like beer and stuff, which is great. It's like, oh, somebody to, you know, but she's seeing somebody right now, a nice guy. She's seeing a nice guy now and stuff, you know. But the thing is, she says when she goes to places, to breweries and stuff like that, she's the only black woman. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. You know, I understand that. I'm usually the only black woman in there. Now, if you don't like beer, I don't suggest, because I'm a person that does not suggest that people do stuff that they don't like in order to catch a man. That's crap. You'll have to keep that up forever. So if you really are not a beer drinker, you know, you've tried beer before, you really don't like it, then don't do it. If you haven't tried beer before, or the different types of beer there are, because there's a ton of different types of beer that you can get, and, you know, made with different stuff, made with coffee, made with fruit, made with honey, made with all sorts of stuff. While I was in Oregon, I drank a beer that was made with raspberries, called the Ruby at McMenamins. I drank a beer that was made with blackberries called Purple Haze at McMenamins. I drank a beer at Bridgeport called Stumptown Tart, and it was made with cherries, blackberries, and blueberries. It was delicious. It was delicious. And I love that name, Stumptown Tart. What a great name for a beer and stuff. And I drink, usually I drink somewhere between ale and you know, sometimes maybe a lager. I'm going to put a link on here for you to get some different information about different types of beer. The thing is, you know, it's not like you have to go in knowing about beer, because the best part about going into a brew fest and being like the only black woman, and like, you know, these guys are like, wow, really, you know, and stuff. You like beer, or you're trying to try beer. Guys who usually drink beer and like beer like telling people the different kinds of beer there are and the different types. Don't get it wrong. Beer is not for, you know, beer is not something that the corner, you know, this, I'm not talking about the corner 40 ounce. Beer is not something for something where you're thinking, oh, it's for, you know, poor, or this is just kind of, no. Beer is big time now. And in many places, beer is, you know, upper echelon, you know, and stuff. There are a lot of wealthy men who Like beer, enjoy the different types of beer and stuff. Like brewfest, this is not something where you're gonna find, this is not a frat party, okay? And you may, when you go to brewfest, find, a group of younger people that are just out there drinking and being silly and whatever. But most people that go to brewfest are sophisticated people that like beer and want to try some different types of beer. The best thing about a brew fest is there's like usually a bunch of beer and all types of beer, and you get a little taste here and you get a little taste there. You pay to get in. They give you a cup and you get a taste of this and get a taste of that and stuff, and you can find something you really like. It's best you kind of remember what it was, so if you go out, you can ask for it again at a different brew pub or whatever and stuff. Don't be snobbish about beer. Beer is becoming a really big time thing with folks who are hey, upper echelon, wealthy, upper middle class, and stuff, professional people and stuff like that. I knew a couple of lawyers that I worked with who love beer, would go to, there's a huge brew fest. I mean, a gigantic brew fest in Oregon every year. And this guy was a attorney. He was a quiet guy, really nice guy and everything and stuff. And, really nice guy and a quiet attorney. He was, I guess he must have been in his mid-40s or something like that. Nice looking guy and stuff. And we were talking about beer, and he was saying how he went to the Oregon Brew Fest every year because he really loved beer. So it's not this thing people are home brewing, and stuff. And so if you want to, and I'm telling you, usually there, not only will you probably be the only Black woman, you will probably be a small kind of conglomeration of women. Not a lot of women drink beer, not a lot of women do the beer thing, and stuff. Most of them are out drinking wine, and they're usually just drinking it with a bunch of other women. There's no men around and stuff. Beer, really, mostly guys do. Now, I don't really know why. I think women think, well, I'm going to gain weight or whatever and all that stuff from drinking beer and, and all that stuff, which is, if you want to think that, that's fine. Or if they're on a low carb diet or whatever. But I don't have that sort of thinking. I drink what I like and stuff. If I'm going to drink it, I'm going to drink what I like. And I like beer. I've always liked beer and stuff. And so I'm giving out a little signal here or a little clue for folks who want to go someplace, or maybe it's something they may like or may have been wanting to try already, and they want to go someplace and meet people or be around people and and kind of be a standout, and stuff. It never bothers me that I'm usually the only Black person in there. I'm coming to drink beer. I'm usually with my husband or whatever, or even when I used to go like with my friends and stuff, whatever, I'm trying to drink a beer and stuff, get a good cold one and stuff, and something that's really tasty, and discover something new and everything. So, but trying different beers and figuring out what you like and what you don't like and stuff, and just, asking a lot of questions. Because like I say, guys who like beer and are big beer aficionados usually like to talk about all the different beers they know about and what they taste like. They may be home brewers and stuff, and home brewing is not cheap to do. Okay, to make your own beer, it's not cheap. So they may be home brewers and everything, but rest assured, beer is really big time. And don't snub your nose at beer, okay, and stuff. Expand your horizon out of, what it was you're usually doing, or people all telling you to go to some winery or something like that. That's not, that's not always going to work. That's not always going to work for everybody. And that's not always going to be a good thing for you, and stuff, I'm saying, if you're talking about, let's go where the boys are, the boys are drinking beer, okay? And they're drinking good beer. And, and like I say, it's not this thing where it's a bunch of drunk frat boys or stuff like that. These are sophisticated, intelligent people who like good beer. I say next time, or look around your local area. Go on Google. A lot of places have them. Used to be a bunch of places didn't do craft breweries. Every place is pretty much every state is doing craft brewery, doing craft beer now. Everybody, to become really big and stuff. Now it's huge over here on the West Coast and stuff. And I know in Colorado, and it's big up in the Northeast on the East Coast. And, you know, like I say, it's huge here in Washington and Oregon, Idaho, Montana, Alaska. You know, we're some beer drinking folks around here and stuff. And so it's really big up here, but most states are doing craft brews now. Go into your Google, look for Beer Fest or Brew Pubs or, you know, Beer Week, wherever you are. They're going to have a Seattle Beer Week pretty soon here. And this is summertime, so Seattle's going to have a Beer Fest every other week, every other weekend. They're going to have some kind of beer fest around here at the different pubs and all that stuff. And start looking, so maybe you can, you know, this summer, put your cute sundress on, put your makeup on, do your hair up, and girl, get out there and drink some beer. Okay, you know, I think you'll love it. Don't be fooled by, you know, don't be fooled by all that stuff. People are talking about being snobbish about beer, because beer is, you know, it's not just the regular, it's not just the regular blue collar drink anymore. It's gone way beyond that now and stuff, and it's a good place for you to be a standout, and in the midst of some, you know, some attractive, nice, professional, you know, men. Okay, you know, so don't snub your nose at it. It's definitely something you probably want to try. So as I said, I'll put a link on a page for you to see the different types of beers and what they are and stuff. And if you've got a craft brewery in your local city, go take a tour. They're always giving tours and then giving little samples at the end. Go take a tour and stuff. You know, there's nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong with a good cold beer. So, and with that being said, I think I am on my way to go enjoy one right now. I will see you guys later. You guys have a good rest of the day. Bye-bye.